What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to show it to you right now. This is the new album from the band Decapitation, entitled The Anthropocene Extinction. This is released on Metal Blade Records. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of San Diego, California, and over the course of the last 15 plus years or so, Decapitation have been establishing themselves as one of the most successful and popular bands to come across extreme music, extreme metal, whatever kind of phrasing you choose to use. They have been getting more consistent and more better with time. I mean, this band has come a very long way when it comes to their musical sounds. Back then, when they had an almost power violence-ish gore grind sort of sound within their first demo and early releases, to even later albums like To Serve Man and Humanure, and then moving forward to albums like Karma Bloody Karma, and then evolving their sound even further with The Harvest Floor. I mean, this band has been so consistent over the years. I really enjoy this band's style, their concepts, Travis Ryan's insane vocal variety, the artwork, their work ethic is just tremendous. They have a very misanthropic sort of message within their music, and they execute it very well in their songwriting and how they deliver things. But in 2012, I really believe a band like Decapitation shot themselves right into the stratosphere with an album like Monolith of Inhumanity. I mean, I thought Decapitation were an amazing band, but I felt they became even more amazing with an album like Monolith of Inhumanity. Something about it just showcased how hard of workers these guys are. Their work ethic, their musical stylings, just the way things flowed together. That was just an amazing record, and it really served as a blueprint of how great Decapitation really are. And of course, since that album, they have been just working very hard to keep their name out there, making music, touring, playing all over the world, all that kind of stuff. But now, Decapitation are back, and we have their 7th full-length entitled The Anthropocene Extinction. It's 12 tracks, and it clocks in at around 46 minutes in length. And after giving this album many listens, I often wondered to myself, how would they top? How would they top something as insane and as brilliant as Monolith of Inhumanity? Would it even be possible for them to top something like Monolith of Inhumanity? And I firmly believe with the Anthropocene Extinction, they have done that. They have topped Monolith of Inhumanity and even a great deal more. I feel that this album is a lot more darker themed than the previous release. It picks up where the last album had left off, but things seem to move towards a more darker, evil, more misanthropic direction. Because as with any sort of release that Decapitation knows how to do, they detail the end of the human race, disgust with humanity, and I feel that within these 12 songs, they go by that sort of book extremely well. The songwriting aspects are once again on point here, very well detailed sort of stuff. And also, like the previous album, this album has a really good production value. This is a band that qualifies itself for high-level production. They don't have production that's meant to be overly clean or over the top. It fits this band's style. A clean production fits this band's style. I couldn't imagine them continuing on with a more grittier, raw sound back then, complemented into now. I wouldn't know how that would work. But with the sound they have now, I think it works just fine. And I really am happy with the production job of this album. But as far as the music is concerned, it's cattle decapitation business as usual, and things seem a lot more crazier this time. The guitar playing on here is just as sizzling and as frantic as previous releases past. I really love the way the guitar is being handled here. The riff work is just sensational. From the minute you hear Manufactured Extinct to songs like The Prophets of Loss, and to even a song like Clandestine Ways, Crocodile Rot. Just the perfect example of how insanely fast and crazed these guitar riffs sound. The riffs almost have a deep, almost black metal-esque sort of influence in certain riffs. You can hear it on tracks like, I want to say, Circo Inhumanitas. You pick up some of those really dark and evil sort of guitar riffs being played on those tracks. And then later on, throughout the record, you'll come to appreciate the stylings that the guitars are being, the way it's being done here. The soloing is amazing. I love the way the solos are being handled here. They're tasteful. They appear when they need to. They don't feel out of place or anything like that. And I feel that this guitar performance is just marvelous all the way throughout. Bass-wise, just like the guitar, it gets equal showtime to be heard. It is very clear, very audible, very technical, just like the guitar itself. I should also mention the guitar work here has that shred of technicality being represented on here, and I think it sounds amazing to listen to. The bass guitar is just awesome to listen to. You can hear it very clearly, very well mixed and mastered. I love the way it sounds. It's perfect for this band's style. It's perfect for this production. The bass guitar sounds amazing. Moving on to the drums, this guy's a madman. He's been a madman for the last couple of Cattle Decapitation releases, and I think on the Anthropocene Extinction, the drum work on here is just so on fire. I love the way this drummer sounds. So very relentless and fast all the way through. He never lets up. He doesn't really seem to feel tired or out of breath or anything like that. He just continues on with this marvelous drum performance, full of fast blast beats, great snare, great double bass, fast blast beats, just a lot of interesting stuff being done here with the drum performance. Once again, going back to songs like Clandestine Ways, where you get a little bit of the fast, crazy drumming, and then there's a certain break in the song where the drums begin to just calm down just a little bit. But there's really no sense in calming down for a drummer like this. He is a madman, and he proves why he's a madman all the way throughout this entire record. Just an insanely crazed drum performance. It's just so relentless all the way through. I mean, a lot of the songs don't really seem to be overly long, but the way that he plays makes every song on here fly by so fast, even the 5-minute track at the end. I think it's really incredible. And when it comes to the vocals, I'm pretty sure many other people have said this before, but Travis Ryan is one of the very best frontmen in metal today. Just his charisma, his stage presence, his vocal stylings. He is just a hard-working, incredible vocalist, and here on the Anthropocene Extinction, he showcases why he is such an insanely brilliant vocalist and songwriter and lyric writer. The vocals are just amazing. His growls sound awesome, very well articulated, even for sounding extremely guttural. His low growls seem nasty and gurgly. The high screams sound intense, even more intense than I can imagine. Just the fact that he can scream so high is just so amazing to listen to. And one thing that's been a trait over the last couple of Cattle Decapitation records, I want to say this goes back to maybe even the Harvest Floor, if I'm not mistaken, and that is the inclusion of more melodic tinged vocals. It's as if you're hearing Travis Ryan sing. And I could never imagine him having the kind of vocal delivery that he does when it comes to him doing the singing. And I think it's more dominant now than it was on previous releases. But I think it works perfectly for him to have these melodic tinged sort of vocals. Very beautifully sung, very well established, even when it comes to being layered with the insanely nasty guttural vocals that Travis Ryan does. And I want to say on the song Ave Exitum, that song really took me by surprise. It kind of feels as though the last two tracks are akin to the last two tracks of Monolith of Inhumanity. This version Pacific Rim being the version of Kingdom of Tyrants. The song before that seeming a bit more sullen and bleak. Ave Exodum has an almost Neurosis-ish sort of quality for it, and I think his vocals sound really amazing. I mean, if they decide to make another album, I would love to hear those kind of vocals be utilized a lot more, as opposed to the melodic, crazed sort of vocals we hear throughout this entire record. But Travis Ryan is a phenom. He is a master class of a vocalist, and he proves that here with the Anthropocene Extinction. And I think the guest appearances are pretty cool too. You got Phil Anselmo doing some spoken word stuff on the track The Prophets of Loss. You have Author and Punisher doing some industrial sort of instrumental stuff at the very beginning of Plagueborn. And once again mentioning Pacific Rim, we have Jurgen of the band Bethlehem. For those that that know Travis pretty well, Bethlehem is one of his all-time favorite bands, and it's pretty cool that they got him to do somewhat of a native speaking in his native tongue towards the very closing moments of that song. It's very crazy, but overall, Cattle Decapitation have once again proven why they are just as important to metal today as they ever were before. This is such a brilliant piece of metal. I love the way everything came out here. I love the artwork. I love the songwriting, the lyrics, the concepts. It's just insanity at its finest. And I'm very happy that this album was made, and this really did meet and exceed my expectations. So if I had to pick any favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say Manufactured Extinct, Clandestine Ways, Crocodile Rot. That's one of the best songs of this year in my opinion. Mutual Assured Destruction, Apex Blasphemy, Not Suitable for Life. There's just a ton of great songs. I think every song on here is just amazing. So I'm going to leave you some links in the description box as to how you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will link you to the Cattle Decapitation Bandcamp page, where you can stream this album in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy of being purchased or not. You can buy it digitally, and it is available in multiple physical formats. You can buy it on CD, you can buy it on cassette tape, and like I showed you at the very beginning, it is available on double LP vinyl. You see this really nice gatefold here with the extended artwork, and it comes on a really nice blue and gold sort of vinyl color. Very nice, beautiful color here, and I'm going to turn it on the other side. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but it has the Ouroboros and the earth being thrown into the trash can. Yeah, I think it's absolutely marvelous stuff. This band is currently wrapping up finishing the Summer Slaughter Tour, which features bands such as, what do you call it, Arch Enemy, the Beyond Creation, Acacia Strain, and a great deal more, and they're going to be involved in 2 other additional tours. Their own tour with King Parrot, Dark Sermon, and Black Crown Initiate, and then they will be doing co-headlining duties with Cannibal Corpse towards year's end. So keep an eye and ear out for that if they're coming to play near your city, because they're great live. So let me show you the album again. This is the Anthropocene Extinction by Cattle Decapitation. This is released on Metal Blade Records. Go check this out. This is mandatory purchasing. And for a score, I'm going to give this the highest score I can possibly give, and that is a perfect 10 out of 10. This is sensational stuff. It is definitely one of the very best albums of this year. Top 5, top 3 contendership. So if you've happened to have heard this album, let me know what you think of it. Where do you think it stands in your opinion of Cattle Decapitation's discography? Let me know. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks all for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. And until the next time, Armijo out.